Hello to you all, and welcome to Pyramid Energy. If you're new to the channel, I'm so pleased you're here. And if you're returning, welcome back. The two messages I've received so far are that change is afoot and also that hell is freezing over. Before I dive into these messages, I want to welcome all new channel members, all 15 of you. I'm so grateful. To thank you, I'd like you to please, if you feel called, share something that you'd like me to read on. I think you should just share it in whatever form that it comes to you, especially if you've already thought about it. And I will see where that takes us. If you want, you can also let me know which cards you want me to use out of the cards that I've shared on the channel. You can just describe it and I'll be able to figure the deck out, I think. As I've mentioned before, channel memberships aren't about additional content. They're really a space for those who feel called and can to support the container, to just create just more stability for me as the channel. It reinforces this idea that we've learned so many times about of giving and sharing. And as masculine structures shift away from how we've known things to work, which has been rather transactional, towards one more based in giving and receiving, I'd like how things work on this channel to reflect that direction. I've laid out 9 cards here. I started off with the middle row and was starting to feel into the message. And then I laid out the 3 tarot cards below that, and then the 3 oracle cards above. This message is for a creator, okay, an artist of whatever kind, who currently feels stuck. And is trying to figure out what this stuckness means and knows that there is a change, okay? Change is afoot. There's also a lot of doubt playing out here. This doubt is actually being sensed mostly externally, and from an internal aspect, this doubt is due to understandings that have been formed over time around how things work. Okay, there has been a dissonance between how they work and how they're meant to work. Now, this idea of how they are meant to work is what is shifting, I want to say, back into alignment. There's a lot of karma playing out here. This reading feels very collective, and so please feel free to expand the message into different areas of your life. How you will know this is playing out is through doing things the way that you're used to them being done and not seeing the result you're used to seeing. This could also be playing out where you are applying new ways of doing things and they appear to not be working. However, whatever's driving you to do things in this way feels stronger than the doubt and the external narrative that appears to be being reinforced. Okay? The card right in the middle with this woman, and she's got a butterfly tying her hair together. The leaves on her, I don't know if these are olive leaves or what. These represent abundance, okay? And so she's showing up, transforming under the sun. So she's showing up, okay, being herself through the unseen. This is what the owl represents, guided by wisdom. But you see that pentacle in the background is, do you say translucent? Like it's transparent. It doesn't feel as though it's materialized. And so what's guiding her and the reasons she's doing what she's doing and the way she's doing what she's doing. It's hard to touch. It's hard to see it clearly, but there's still value in it that's going to materialize. Her and the owl, she and the owl both know this. On the clock, I have 52121. The number 21 has been coming up so frequently lately. The card in the tarot, in the major arcana of 21, is the World, which is the close of a cycle. It's like the culmination of the journey of the Fool, essentially, starting from nothing and then ending off with the World. So much information gathered, so many lessons gathered. It's like the full, almost the full spectrum of wisdom is visible. Okay, and it's already transforming one's world. Okay, however, we are showed the World card so that we know this, even if it has not manifested. And so that 5 and the 2121 it represents the ripple effects of the changes one person can make. So the change becomes the leader, and the world reflects the leadership of the change maker. And so I'm speaking to a change maker, someone who is implementing changes that make sense, but may not appear to make sense. Okay, you're living your life in line with what you believe, not what you see being done. This started off by, leading yourself through a sense of peace around your intuition. You first had to peel that layer of intuition that was clouded by the intuition of others, the intuition of the external, what's presented to you as wisdom, what's presented to you as intuition, no longer adopting that automatically and starting off with making sense, at times reconciling what you're hearing and what you're seeing with what you're feeling and what you're seeing internally, but starting off by peeling those layers so that you can get to a point of real trust with your own guidance first. Okay, knowing that there was a reason that you needed to do this, and now you've been doing it, and now you're actually introducing these things into your material world and using these tools, these ways of being, these methods, these understandings, actually applying them to your physical world. So now, not just to your art, but like literal things in your life, applying them, even though it feels counterintuitive. It's the most intuitively that you have ever led your life, because it goes against what we are being showed, what's being displayed around us, around how things need to be done, how things are going to be working. And so what's actually happened is that there's been like a kind of an earthquake that is transforming how things work, transforming the structures. It feels like a collective tower. It feels like a silent tower collectively that is fundamentally rocking the masculine, because those are the structures that have been resistant to the shifts, and the feminine aspect has expanded to such an extent that the existing masculine structures are unable to hold it. And so what's happening is that this earthquake has happened to reform, reconfigure the collective container. And so this means that it's no longer really taking place, this change, these shifts are no longer taking place on a decision basis. They're taking place more through like, I want to say again, this earthquake, but it's almost like the ripple effect of enough people having pushed through some of these facades. And so this silence that's being sensed, okay, this silence, this almost this void you find yourself in, this eeriness of the air, is the space in between. I'm getting that from the first row. Look at the, first of all, Six of Cups speaks about karma. And during this time, it's like a reflection time, mirror guardian. So it's time to reflect. Look at how she's looking into this mirror with this like infinite sky inside of it. And you'll see there's also farther sky on the right. She's looking into this mirror, and essentially what's being seen through the world, integrated, transformed, is what's being created. It's being felt very much through the heart. I've felt this heart feeling all morning. It feels like a more raw and sensitive heart space, which speaks to heart expansion, but it also speaks to the heart becoming more powerful, the heart being fed more of what it wants, okay, so that it can attract more of what it wants to see in itself, to see in the world. And these changes are being reflected into the world. The more you stand in what you know and the more you feel into what you're feeling, you are transforming these structures through feeling, okay? And also through staying in alignment with what you feel to be right. And this is not right in that argumentative sort of manner of speaking. This is just really, truly being the change that you want to see in the world. There is also something in this row on the right. Father Sky, trust in the unknown, an elder, move beyond ancestral patterns, especially this ancestral patterns card. He reminds me of the King of Wands, okay? But very different from the King of Wands in the sense that the King of Wands is generally showed as like a strong, visionary leader, that kind of thing. Now here we're talking about an elder. He's holding his wand. You've got all of this, I don't know if it's rock paintings, if we want to call it that. And even the art that's been drawn on his body, there's something around currently the English is not Englishing right now. We are unable to see and understand the wisdom of why things were drawn this way, why this art was made, what it means, its purpose, all of that, all of the meanings attached to how things were being created. Okay? This elder knows these answers, but is not sharing these answers verbally. Okay? There's an understanding that, you see the skies there? This reading is out there, but please bear with me. This Father Sky has got this sense of thunder and lightning happening there. Okay, I had a card come out earlier in a personal reading, lightning breakthrough. There's a breakthrough that is taking place right now. This breakthrough is like, it's happening in divine timing. It was always set to happen. It was always a part of the sky. It was destined to occur. Okay. And it's very important for you to create from the heart, to continue to show up, to continue to believe that how you're doing things, why you're doing things. And my mouth is like, it's really struggling to get around some of these words. The reasons you do the things that you do will make sense. Okay, this is a major collective transformation taking place. I see it in the Eight of Swords as well. Look at the Two of Pentacles. There is some of this doubt that's taking place is simply because some of these things have not materialized. Okay? There is a major shift in value systems that's taking place. You see that in the Six of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. It's changing. And with the air element in the middle, this Eight of Swords, you become more susceptible to almost this looped manner of thinking and reasoning when you try to make sense of how these two worlds are going to be reconciled. We're not reconciling the worlds, we are changing them. We're changing the world. This we does not come from Gontse, it's coming from somewhere larger than me. The world is changing. The world is changing. This collective is changing the world through being the light, through being a certain way and continuing to show up. Okay? This collective, I remember a few weeks ago doing a reading on, a collective that's waiting. I'll pin it in here somewhere or leave a link below. But it was about a critical mass having been gained. When you gain a critical mass over a situation, I believe I learned about this in economics, I think. Okay, yeah. When you gain, or statistics, something. Once a certain amount or part of something becomes a certain way, sort of gains a certain style of alignment, the rest of the mass loses its ability to hold an anchor in a specific way or place. Okay, that is completely non-economically explained, but I'm explaining it energetically because that's what it means. It means that when enough people work in alignment with a certain truth or a certain way of being, the rest of the mass or masses lose their grip. That's what it means. I just let out a whole lot of air out of my throat, as if like something was like leaving my system. Or I suppose it's these words. But if you look at these cards again, look at the top row. This top row is very reflective of crown chakra, and then the middle row very reflective of root chakra. And so this is being anchored from both ends, this shift. And what they're telling me through these cards is it is really important right now to understand why you're being anchored in this like type of alignment in this way, and to not look at material as results. Okay? This is a time to tap into the heart space and to show up and to communicate and to actually say a lot of these things. It is not crucial for you to say them to many people. It is crucial for you to speak in alignment and speak truthfully and honestly. That is what's important. And that is what holds the anchor, because it's actually the vibration that you're anchoring and holding. There are many things that are changing. Often when we talk about expression, we relate it very easily back to, for example, YouTube. However, this shift is affecting all structures. It will affect all platforms and all structures, all organizations, all relationships, it's changing. It's changing everything. And in a way, they're showing me this shift happening through physical material. They're showing me blood. It's a weird analogy to come up with, but they're showing me like blood moving through the cracks, and they're showing me they're showing me very difficult passage of this liquid trying to get through the cracks, and the cracks not allowing, or the cracks leading to dead ends. That's what they're showing me. As if amongst certain people and groups and spaces, that absence of understanding that things have changed may not come to their awareness easily. Okay. What will grow is this feeling in the heart space of, unfortunately, please listen with discernment, but this feeling of worry, this feeling of concern, instead of realigning perspectives and integrating truth so that easier passage can be found, because there are no signposts letting you know that this is a dead end, this is open way. There are no signposts, only feeling and feeling in alignment, because during a time like this, the only way that you will be able to tell which way to go is by following your heart and following what feels true. All other physical methods of gaining direction will no longer work. Oh my God. You know that about 2 months ago, I was walking and this is going to be so out there, but I'm going to say it because it's coming up now, especially with that stream of words I received now. I was walking and they told me that nothing in the sky is going to work like it used to work, which really challenges me to this day. It challenges me because of, take what I'm about to say as complete nonsense, feel free. But, we have this understanding that we can calculate what's happening in the sky, and the messages that the sky is sharing with us and all of that. The message I'm getting is that there's either some form of I'm struggling to find the words. They're using the word misguided. There's something around how we look at this that is misguided. Okay? They are looking, sharing direction through the heart. Direction is now being shared through the heart. Things are not going to work the way they used to. The reason I struggled so much to reconcile what this means is, astrologically speaking, what's going to happen 5 years from now, the placements, all of that. There is something that humanity hasn't considered. And the thing is, okay, because I have not got all of this is not all clear in my mind. But that's why a lot of the things that you feel like doing and feel called to do are going to feel strange, and they're going to feel like you're going to consider their reception, how people are going to receive it, all of that. They're saying, follow the heart. Tap into your heart, follow your heart. Your heart knows. Your heart knows. And so I suppose then now that I'm saying this, if there's something that you are assessing and trying to decide whether it makes sense and whether it feels right, and you're weighing these two things up against each other, they're saying that your decision that's based more in the how it feels rather than whether it makes sense, okay? What you sense weighs more than what makes sense, okay? Because they're saying we are the holder of sense, okay? Not the scale you've been using over there. So they're basically saying the right thing is the thing that you keep getting called to do and feel like you need to do. Going back to hell is freezing over, I looked it up, and it essentially means that something will never happen. And this elder especially, what this elder is saying is that the things that they said are never going to happen, I don't know if this is society, I don't know if I'll pull a card for clarity, but those are the things that are going to happen. The things that you keep being told or you've been told in the past are impossible. The things that the impossible is being made possible. It's not just being made possible. The impossible is taking place. These things I'm saying today are very bold. They're saying that the power of truth is transforming. Look at this 3 of Wands card next to Father Sky. There's something coming in. Something is arriving. I've pulled the Page of Wands over the White Witch. What they're saying here quite strongly is don't stop exploring. Don't stop being curious. This silence that is looming, okay, it feels like it's looming over the earth. This silence can be mistaken as, I feel like there's nothing left to learn here, like that. It feels like you feel like you've reached the end of something. You've reached the end of something, and they're saying, this is the blank slate. Now start to explore. Keep exploring. I asked for clarity and I got the Fool. I asked, what is changing? And they said everything. They're showing me, this is weird to put into words. They're showing me a head start. Okay, they're showing me during this time of what feels like silence, which is causing confusion, disorientation. What they're showing me is that those of you who use your hearts to guide you and to lead you, you are getting a head start in this idea of creating the truth. And so you have a blank slate to create the world that you want to create. And during this time of disorientation, you're essentially not experiencing this lag that those that are still trying to make things work in the old way are going to experience. And so you're getting a head start in this creation, this implementation of this paradigm rooted in love and wisdom. They're saying that if you try to create change by moving things around on a very physical basis, you know, this decision-based thinking where you move this there, therefore it will do that. That way of thinking, they're saying that's going to feel like a struggle, and it's going to feel slow, and it's going to feel, it's going to hold a lot of tension. What's this word I'm looking for? It's going to feel unstable. It's going to feel unstable. For clarity, I got the Star and Judgment. This is creation through this form of decision. This is the healing that is now available through this decision. Judgment has this very, you know, this trumpet is being sounded and being heard. This is this shift in how you operate is going to shift how things operate. They're sort of bringing me back into perspective here. This can be applied on a global, like collective level, but it's also very much a timeless message in that it's a point that you've reached. It's a point that you've reached. They're saying that you're going to defy the odds. That's how they're clarifying it. You're going to defy the odds. And they're describing new ways of working. You know, this idea of new way of working, it's a thing that corporates like to introduce when they shift strategy or, you know, either for survival or just optimization, I suppose, and efficiency. They announced this new ways of working that everyone needs to adapt to, as in the way we used to work is not going to work anymore. We've actually shifted the structures to allow for this, and we are the creators and we are the catalysts of this change. I'm looking at this Mirror Guardian card. It's got this woman with angel wings, okay? And so she's aware in a sense of where she comes from. But as she looks into this mirror, you'd think she'd see her face, But what she's actually realizing through looking through the mirror is that she is of the stars. That's what she sees. And so what she is being told about where her life is going is actually, it's her. It's her. So she is the creation. She is creating her future. Okay? By looking deeper into herself. And so what she's looking at has this infinity about it. It's as if as she's reading what it says, she's aware that she is in the process of creating what it becomes. And so her understanding of herself becomes more infinite as she lifts the limits on herself. I asked for clarity on the Mirror Guardian and the Sun, and I got the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles. These cards are telling me that there are aspects of her that are hidden from her, that are hidden from her. I'm almost seeing what's being emphasized here as almost the focus of where she needs to build. It's in the areas that she cannot see, the areas she doesn't understand. Those are the ones that she should be capitalizing on now, exploring through those. In a sense, they're saying this is not a time to fear the unknown. It's a time to become curious about the unknown and to continue to show up and build in this way. Put in other words, it's like not focusing on the silence of what was, but rather the silence of what is becoming. I'm going to close this reading off here with a card from the Heart Path Oracle Cards deck. If you're interested in a personal reading from me, please see my email address below and make contact. There are also other ways to support the channel in the description box below. The card is Hang On. Wake up your tenacity and determination. You're an extremely creative human being. Whatever path you take, you bring it to an intriguing point of view. The observant fox guides you around obstacles that you otherwise may not notice. It shows you how to adapt quickly to different situations in which you find yourself. Approach these new adventures with excitement and open-mindedness. The number 1 presents itself many times in your image: 1 fox, 1 dog, and 1 kangaroo. This number brings with it the energy of assertiveness and independence, as well as enthusiasm, new beginnings, and prosperity. It is a sign that the gate of opportunity is open. The thoughts you are thinking are manifesting at record speed. Be aware and don't wait too long. Seize new opportunities that come along. You must connect with nature, animals, and the earth. Their energies will ground you. Although you think of yourself as more of a practical person, you are also a visionary. You are here to change things, to help shift the planet. Whatever you decide to do, you will be a leader and an innovator. Make sure, though, it is for the greatest good for all. Always check in with your heart and not just your head, especially when dealing with relationships. Your German Shepherd dog will lead you to hidden talents that have always been part of your life, but which you have not acknowledged. These might have something to do with communication and community. Jupiter hovers above you, bringing justice, balance, and perfect order. To the left of the fox is a kangaroo. Since the kangaroo is always moving, it symbolizes your need to work hard to get where you're going. Don't stand in place. Take action and pursue your dreams. Once you achieve momentum, keep going forward and never look back. The bigger the leaps, the better. With worms in your life, there will be some type of miraculous regeneration. Know that you will have a breakthrough soon. Keep going. You are tough. The goldfinches remind you to enjoy life and savor each moment. They want you to celebrate who you are and all your accomplishments. The tree gives you power, courage, and grounding. Like the tree, you have deep roots and a stable foundation. You have chosen an interesting journey. Let yourself grow and expand into unknown space and reach for that special star. Thank you all for sharing your energy so generously. Sending you so much love.